All right, so I'm just going to quickly revisit the tier list. Well, I'm not going to be using my previous one as a template. I'm still keeping the same things, and for many of the passives, I'm going to be referring back to what the old tier list was, just to see any differences between them and what I think those differences were. Right, straight into it. We'll start off with a good slime. I think it's C. I think when you have some good passive slash orbs, aka Potion Bolt or Prem Slime, I think it's very reasonable, but apart from that, it's going to be pretty garbage. Event Shrine, really, really solid starting passive. I think I'm going to put in A. You're not disappointed to get Event Shrine, really. It's really good for helping you through a lot of the maps. However, it's definitely not as strong as you would hope. I'm placing it a bit higher than it might be because of it's a starting passive, and it's a pretty good starting passive at that. Alchemist Cookbook, I think it's really good now. It has really good high roll. Could even be S tier. It has really good high roll with enhanced, and I feel like enhanced is reasonably common. It's even possible as a starting passive, and it's just such a good damage boost then, and like more AoE is good. Honestly, I'm just going to put in S. I think New Alchemist Cookbook is actually really good. Aliens Rock, I'm going to put in a solid B plus A minus. I think. I think it's really solid, but it's generally just a bit hard. I'll put you in B. A bit hard to get proper use out of it. Ambidextrony, I'm still just going to put in S. I think it's just very solid. Two discards is amazing, both the books in S. I think that they should combine these two. I'm not going to speak much more on that. I think that Apple a Day is kind of boring, but it's reasonably solid. I'll put it in C. Augur, S++. Uh, it's just so insane. So much PS. I think I have to put an S++, full stop. Yeah, ask me anything. It's just going to be there. It's reasonable. I like the new buff they had to it, but I don't think it's much more than that, frankly. Bad cheese, very good. I'm going to put an A because it has such strong potential. Most of the time, it's not going to do too much, but it's pretty reasonable, I'd say. Bag of Orange Pegs, it's such nice damage boost. I don't think I can put it higher than that, but I'm very happy to get Bag of Orange Pegs. It's probably like A plus, S minus, but yeah. Bullpen Hammer, I'm going to put in B just because the shield fortification stuff you can do is really solid, especially on Baladin, but like I'm really happy to see this, but it's definitely not the most amazing, and it does require synergy to work. Basalt Totem, very dull. I'm not interested in it. I think you can just go there. Basic Blade, I think, just deserves a straight remove because we have start with +1 in the circle. It's really quite boring. Bastion Reaction, honestly, I'm just going to put an S. I'll take, but A, I think it's such a good starting pass on Roundel as well, Balan, sorry, as well as it's like a lot of bulwark, like you're getting shield from it. It makes a lot of things much more viable. I think it's great. I think this thing is pretty garbage. I think, yeah, like it's +1 way to trigger a crit, which is cool, I think, but it's just very boring. Evolution cap increased to 300. It's something, but you already need good Evolution stuff if you want to get use out of it. When you do have good Evolution stuff, it is very good to hit, but I feel like it suffers under you need quite a bit of stuff to make it work. Betsy's Hedge, it's not going to do too much for you. It's pretty boring. I have had some very funny numbers off of Betsy's Hedge, like +6 in the realm of +60 damage. But obviously, with +60 damage, it's very hard, not impossible, to not hit a crit. Bombaton is such an amazing starting passive. I think I'll put an A just because Cruci 12 nerfs the bombs quite a bit, but it's such a good starting passive. I really like Bombaton. Bombulet, drastic difference, frankly. I think I'll put it in. I'll put it in bottom of B. I think that putting it any lower is a bit rude, but it's not a starting passive. That's the big change compared to Bombulet, and +3 is better than just a ×2 multiplier as well, and just a few other things. Yeah, this passive I think is insane. I think it's really good. It doesn't show up much, but when it does, it's not too hard to get the bramble off of it. I think you can get a lot of good use out of it. It's definitely not the craziest, but it's always I'd say you're going to get solid use out of it when you pick it up. Uh, I'll put in low A as well. Brusque Knuckles, I think Brusque Knuckles is great. It does suffer from the. I'll put in yeah like mid A. Um, I'll put it there just because it's really good on Roundel, and if you're doing refresh stuff, it's really good. As well as this boss passive sets up really good high roll with it, and just a bunch of other stuff. It is a bit unfortunate that you are relying on +2, +0, 1 less crit if you want to be able to not crit and get actual good use out of the circle, but yeah. I believe this is Bombs of Placement Infection one. Very solid, honestly. I'm pretty happy to take it. I'll put it like top of B, I'd say. It's really good. Transparency. Obviously, the newer passives they're much harder to rate because I've barely played with them. I think it's really solid, but I don't think I'm going to be putting in A. Complex Claw, very boring, very boring. Constricting Chains, new Constricting Chains is pretty insane to the point where I might just put it in S++. I think that if you pick it up basically every time you see it, you're going to be reasonably happy. It's really good. Now, I think that this passive has gotten much worse. I used to rate it much higher. It used to be an S. It's been a while since I've done this tier list. I think now I'm going to put in B. I think it's a solid damage boost, but one less refresh on the board is quite the price to pay. It's quite a lot. Cookie, this plus plus. It's a starting passive. It's lots of healing. It has great synergy with Leaps of Rest for later. It just has to be there. Criticus, I think you can do some cool stuff with it, but I don't think it deserves higher than like B minus. Critic, Fleece, whatever it's called. It's really good. I put it in higher S before. I think I'm going to put it around about here. You get tons of damage off of it, but it's just not the most impressive. Fusion Mask, yeah, we're just putting it in buff slash remove, and we're moving on. Decoy Orb, it's really good. I'd say S, just simply. Your picks have more, but one less refresh on the board. It's just insane. I don't think I can not put in S plus plus. It's such a good boss passive. Distraction Reaction, it's solid. It's definitely solid. I'll put it in high B, I'd say. Dodgy Dagger, I'll put it in low A. I think both of them are reasonably solid. You're not going to be too. The thing is, you're going to be happy about picking them, especially Dodgy Dagger and Roundel. They're just like not going to. They're not changing the match too much for you, apart from Dodgy Dagger. That's why I rated it a bit higher. Dumbbell plus 2 more cycle per reload. Very solid, especially on Roundel. Balance, I mean. I will put it yeah, around about there in B. Dungeon Die, really like Dungeon Die. I'll put it low A. Really good for just making sure you get some good orb high rolls. You can just really easily high roll damage on it. A duplication potion has to be S++. Such an insane passive, you just hit it and you basically just win. Because I feel like you see I mean, there was that run where I got like 7 or 8 of the reorganizers. Like, it's just so easy to win off of that. +1 multi-ball, I'm going to put it in high B. Uh, in theory, it's good. In practice, it's every 4 rounds, so like how much use are you really getting out of it? However, it's pretty solid. Echo, I think, definitely got a bit worse. It seems that I put this one in buff or remove. I think I do like that. I think it would be cool to see a little bit of a change to Echo because basically, a saving grace before was the fact that for buffles, it actually allows it to do damage. It's also cool for crit comps, but like, I think it can definitely get above. I think that'd be interesting. Magnet, I really dislike Magnet. I'll put you in reasonably high B, I guess. Just like it messed up your shots unnecessarily, so sometimes it can get you to hit something that you wouldn't have hit otherwise, but it just feels like such a mere boss passive. Endless Devouring, I don't think it is buff or remove territory, because I think that it is interesting, but I really don't like it much. It's really not very interesting. Enhanced, yeah, I'd happily say that it's like the best passive in the game. Uh, it's just so insane. Such a good starting passive. It allows so much bomb stuff. Even when you're not doing actual bomb stuff, just like bombs to just increase your damage because all your bombs are increasing, activating nearby pegs. Anyway, increase ball gain by 1. It's useful. I'm gonna put in high C. High C. Yeah. The thing is, you need bullet gain to make it useful, and then it's +1 per proc, which isn't the most, especially with the new fortification chains change and the fact that Bucklog kind of sucks. And yeah, honestly, I'd happily put it a bit lower. It's very cool when you hit it and you get use out of it. Oh, especially with the thing that constantly scales your circle. I guess anything that constantly scales your circle makes it much more interesting. I'll put you in low C. There you go. Low B. High turtle. I'll put an A. Getting an extra option is just great. It's useful. Whenever any additional enemy spawns, gain Temple Illusion. Very dull. I don't like it at all. It's just very boring. Fiery Furnace. Where did I put gain 4? There. I'll put them side by side. I think that the create one is better than the destroy one by a lot. It makes Shield Mage unlosable, basically. Gain 1 Illusion per coin collected. It's pretty boring, but I'd say it's solid. I'll put you in with them, I guess. +1 refresh. Amazing, honestly. Um, honestly, considering putting in an S, I feel like it's like high A tier. It's really, really good. I reduce self damage from orbs by a lot. I'll put in like reasonable C. It's pretty boring, but honestly, could put it in buff or remove. I would like to see a change to it, just to. I mean, maybe even if not just sappers, also boss passives or something. Like one discussion with power buff would be nice, and that would allow for that. Durable, yeah. simply. It's just one of the best boss passes by far. I feel like you're going to pick it up practically every time. Endless Devouring, especially after the buff, I think it's in just S. Such a good passive. So, so good. Grab your hand. It's just, it's like less than half a passive. It's just nothing. Grinding Monster. I think I'm not going to put an S++ just because early grinding Monster versus late grinding Monster is such a difference, but it's just such a ton of max health. I really like it. Grub Gloves, honestly incredible. So much extra damage, so much more than you'd think from it. It buffs your AoE. It's just really solid. I like it quite a bit. Quite a bit. Heal 10 per 100 gold. I think it's really solid. It's healing, so it's always going to be good. I think we're going to put it here. It's a bit hard to judge it because we barely played with it. Avalon's actually very boring. I don't care for it. Um, I was thinking, by the way, maybe if it like upgraded all orbs in your deck by +1 level, maybe that would be more interesting. Who knows? Your crits also refresh. That's plus plus. Mm. I put it in S last time, I believe. The thing is, it basically adds one extra refresh onto the board. Uh, yeah, I'll put it there. It's just so insane. Adventurous Backpack, you can do some stuff in a stone comp. Yeah, whatever. I'll put you at the bottom of the barrel. Acid Slime, very cool stuff, honestly. You're always going to be reasonably happy to pick it up, but it's nothing too crazy. Plus 10 bomb damage, very boring. Please buff. Let's put those side by side because I believe they should be combined. Inferno Winget, obviously insane healing. The half max HP is unfortunate, but very good when it comes with the buff that it does have. Intentional Oboe also has plus plus. Such good healthy, just like such good decreasing on damage, especially when you're looking at Sapper Sacks. So, yep. I'm not going to be rating any of those, I believe. Is this your card? I think it's very solid. I'll put it here. Just a lot of them in B. I feel like a lot of these are solid anyway, so B's are a good place for them to all end up. What was it? Is this your card? Yeah, I could probably put it a bit higher, but I don't think I will. Dodgy Dagger Renee. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely very solid. I like it quite a bit. I'll put you up. There you go. Oh, you're definitely stronger than this. I'll move that down a bit. Wait, can't split those. Anyway, Kinetic Meteorite, very good. It's here. I'll put you an A because not many people are an A. I mean, not many people are an S. I'd say it's a really solid passive to pick up. Yeah. Guaranteed crit, very dull. Very dull. I'm happy that they changed it though, so I'm not going to put in buff or remove. Yeah. Or at least I'm happy for now. Buff or remove, here we go. Maybe if they also added Baladin's old starting passive onto it, where you start the battle with full bulk, that would be cool. Leaves the rest for later. It's probably a bit contentious putting in S++, but I'll put it in S. It has such good high roll, I think it deserves S. It's just so good. Your refresh also crit. Yeah, it's solid. I'll put it in E. It's definitely nowhere near as strong as yeah, fine. I'll bump it down. It's really strong though. Two extra crits on the board. It's pretty amazing. I think we'll say hey. It's very solid, but you're barely going to see it. Mask of Joy, it's just so many extra buffs. So good for uh quite a few characters, mostly just the first two. Oh, and the third one. Basically just all of the characters. I'm going to put it in it's either high S or S++. You're going to get a lot of use out of it a lot of the time. Right, +1 debuff applied. It's really, really good. Yeah, let's just smile sad. Works out. And just sure, I'm just putting in S++. So good to have just basically double damage. Sorry, double pegs popped. At the cost of -2, -2. It's just worth it. So so good. Three crits, gain scaling. It's very solid indeed. Mental Mantle, very boring. I'd happily see a buff to it. That's the thing. The hammer is cool, but I don't think it's really interesting. It's banking your power for later, but you're barely even going to get to use the power, and what do you lose from it? I believe, unless I don't understand how it works properly, which I probably don't. I've only used it once. But the thing is, I didn't think that it upgraded for future combats as well. If it did, then that's cool. If not, then very boring. Molten Gold, it's something. Where did I place Molten Gold last time? Let's just quickly. I put an A. Okay. It's a bit adventurous. I think the Molten Gold is maybe low B. I'm happy to pick it up, but the extra 5 gold is not going to make that much of a difference, really. Molten Mantle, I'll put it in low B. It's a lot of extra damage when you can get it, but the way how it does this damage is very spontaneous, and the fact that you can't get any further upgrades basically means that you cannot take it as a first passive, which already decreases the power quite a lot. Even as a second passive, there's still quite a lot that I prefer to take. I mean, yeah, it's something I guess, but it's very boring. I'd happily see a buff to it. That's the thing. Navigation inflation, we'll put in A. Money generation is just really good, so I'm going to put money generation quite high. Orbit story, I'll put it with Eye of Turtle. It's definitely worse than Eye of Turtle, so I guess I'll put it down a notch from Eye of Turtle. Eye of Turtle is much better than Orbit story. Orbit story is kind of cool though. Overwhelmer, I think I definitely had I had Overwhelmer much higher before. I don't think it's as strong as it once was. I'll put you in reasonable A. Probably might even deserve S, but I'm not going to be doing that. Peg bag, there's only really one spot for it. Boop. It deserves S plus plus for reasonably obvious reasons. Refreshing is quite good. Collected coins contribute to damage. I still don't really know what the damage increase on this looks like. It sounds cool, but in the end, I don't really care about it still. Anvil, I think Anvil is pretty incredible. I'll put in an S plus. It's really good. I'd happily see a buff to this. I think it deserves a buff. It'll be quite cool. When you lose all of your board game balance, the thing is because this passive is basically only available on Belen, we're basically only relating it compared to Belen, and it's quite reasonable on Belen. So I'll put in A. I'm not putting any higher just because obviously Belen stuff. Pocket Sand, we did see a Pocket Sand buff, so there you can have it in C. That's where I think it ends up after the buff. Yep, I'd very happily see a buff to this, especially considering the yeah, Whopping Corn. Amazing healing. I'm putting that all the way up in S. I don't think it's quite S plus plus, but it's really good. Powder Collector, mostly because of Enhanced Air, is so strong. I'm going to put it in. Yeah, I'll put it in B. Somewhere in B. It's very solid. Plus one. Look, I feel like I just kind of have to put it up here. Every time you see plus one, you're just going to be happy. Basically, it's such a nice boost on so many characters, and followed by Pierce. Turns out getting a natural one Pierce is kind of good. I don't think I need to explain anything there. Prime Slime, incredible. I'll put it with Pumpkin. It's they're basically doing the same kind of thing, and both are really good. Pumpkin Pie, I'll put in low S. It's really good. I like it quite a bit. Yep. Puppet, I think I'm definitely a bit happier on Puppet. Where I rate him low B last time. I'll put him low A. I think that I'll put him high A. There you go. I think that the damage decrease you're getting from Puppet is quite nice, and it's just a reasonable hedge. Like there are a lot of bosses that'll try and just slap you, and it's nice to get rid of that. Running Heart, very boring indeed. I think there are a few things they can do, but yeah. Recombobulator, I think is still insane. Yeah, I'll put it with Alchemist Cookbook. I'd say that probably, yeah, I'd still rather have a Recombobulator than Alchemist Cookbook, but they're both just so neat. So whenever you evade, get two crits added onto the board. I think this is definitely the one that can see the buff. Oh, as well as these two. I think they can both see buffs. They're quite boring. The two extra crits, like, what is that really achieving for you? I mean, like, yes, I guess it's achieving this, but you know. All right, bombs apply five. Give you 4 or 5 gold after navigation. One of those two. It's quite good. I'm very happy to pick it up. What did I just do? Um, I think we'll put it. Well, we'll just put an A. I don't think it's deserving of S. Yeah, you know what is deserving of S. It's just so good with all the bomb stuff, and extra gold after navigation is really good, especially when combined with navigation placement. Basically, it just has a lot of potential good high roll. Alright, Refilibuster. There's only one place this can go. It's a starting passive. It's insanely strong. You're really happy to pick it up. It is unfortunately not too strong with the new boss passive that I rated really highly. But yeah, it's really good. Refilosopher's Stone. So Refilosopher's Stone used to be in where are we? Refilosopher's Stone used to be around about here. B plus, but like not high B plus, low B plus. And now I think I'm just putting it straight in S. S plus plus. I think that it's so insane because of how much you're going to try and force refreshing, as well as it's I feel like it's enough that you can leave the rest for later, just because you have Philosopher's Stone. So that's a bit crazy, definitely, but it's money generation and it's got really good high roll now, so I'd say it's really good. Refresh perspective, I'm just going to clunk it solidly in S. The pick upgrades is really good, refreshing is really good, so it's really good. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Nothing new there. Fresh course. I've been really happy all the recent times I've gone refresh course. I'm just checking in S. It's just really good scaling, especially with the new boss passive. Refreshing is just a really good thing to be doing. Refresh shield, very solid. I'm very happy to pick up refresh shield. Yeah, we'll just chuck it in A, I guess. Refreshing Punch, it has to be S++, just because of, I feel like you pick it up every single time you see it. And if the synergy it has with the new buff passive is kind of out of this world. Refreshive, absolutely awesome. I'm putting it in S. I feel like it's so good so much of the time. There's sometimes when it's not good, but I think it's really nice. Ring of Indignation, it's cool. I'll be happy to pick up a Ring of Indignation, but generally there's a lot of stuff I'd rather pick up over it. Quite of which is probably in this territory as well. Ring of Reuse, plus one persist. It's nothing crazy. There'll be a lot of times where I'll happily pick it up, but like, yeah. Yeah. This is instant there. It's just so bad. Yep, this is instant here. It's just so good. Let's put starting passes first, I reckon, because they're all insane starting passes. I can't recall. I don't think Payback is a starting passive. It might be, but yeah, basically these are all three of these are insane starting passes. Safety net, really, really good. Excellent damage increase. I'll just put an S. It's just you're really happy to pick up a safety net. It's a safety net. Like, what more do you want me to say? Salt Shaker is really good to pick up. You kind of just want to put it on C immediate. I put it in C immediately. Sometimes you can get good high roll off of it. It's insane with Grinding Monster. Definitely won't deny that. But yeah, I don't think it's much higher than that. Sandaros, I'm actually a bit higher on Sandaros on round rule than before, but there's just so many enemies that don't care, so I can't really place them much higher. Zapdos X, I think I'll put it in E. It's good for killing enemies, especially if you have the right setup for it. But apart from that, it's very hard to pick up. I just had a few good Sappersack rounds, and especially when you consider where's the passive I rated extremely highly. Yeah, here, Bastion Reaction. Especially when you consider Bastion Reaction, it's quite good. Lethal Sash, definitely just a rework, please. Steel Conviction, it's very dull. It's reasonably solid, I'd say. I've picked it up before and I've been fine with it, but it's no, you're going there. I just don't care for you. All right, Short Fuse. I think that Short Fuse is honestly, I'm just going to put an A. I think that the synergy it has with other boss passes just makes it really worth it, especially when you consider what it's doing to get you more passes when you're popping your after combat bombs. Short stack, I think short stack is very solid. I don't think I'm going to put it any higher than that though. I think that it's kind of I don't know, maybe I just haven't played with it enough recently, but I'm going to leave it there for now. Every reload grants plus one balance. Now this is a cool passive, but I don't think it's all that crazy. I think that there are much better ways in the game now to scale than it. That being said, let's put it in high B. I don't think I can really put it in an A. Alright, Slimy Salve. I'll put it with the other three excellent healing passives. Yep, it's just really, really good. Is this? I believe this is Bomb Supply Blind 1, so I'm going to judge this then. Bomb Supply Blind 1 is reasonably solid, especially when you want to consider Branch of Ember high roll. I'll put it in B. It's reasonably good. Plus one crit on the board. You can have a solid C. There you go. It's Fate. It's cool, but like, yeah, I really dislike the charges effect. We'll put it in A, around about here, with explosive force. All right. I believe this is your attack supply 1 exploitable, or 2 if it was a crit. I think this is really solid damage scaling. I'm going to put in low S. I've barely gotten to play with it, but I think it's solid damage scaling, especially on like single target bosses, which there are more than a few of. This plus one starting with circle. Yeah, you can just go there. I'm not going to put in basic blade territory just because it is, I think, the more interesting of the two. Yeah. Yeah, every enemy starts with 3 explodable. It's a solid damage increase. I'll put it in B, high B. There you go. Free crits if you have good Delusion. I think this is quite good, honestly. I'm going to put in A. I think that you're very happy to have it a lot of the time because you're very happy to do Delusion stuff on round rule. I think it's very solid. Special effects contribute. Nobody really cares. It's something, I guess, but not really. Distraction reaction. I think it's really good. I'm going to put an S. Problem is, I haven't really gone to judge it properly yet, so I can't really know where to place it. But I think it's really good. Self Sling, excellent tempo passive. I'm going to put it around pretty high in B. I think it's really good. Now, boots I put much higher last time, I believe. I put them in S. Would I still put them in S? Yeah, sure. I'll put it with the rest of the healing passive. It's really, really good. You're just really happy to pick it up. Your refresh move after every shot, kind of troll. I'll put it high C. It's reasonably solid, I guess. Cake. I mean, if you ever see cake, let me know because it's never gonna happen. But Yeah, Cake is just 50 max health is really good. Who knew? Training weight, it's very solid. I'll place it pretty highly just because Berlin's very happy to see it, but it's kind of a Unicorn Horn. I really like Unicorn Horn. I'll put it in high B. I think it's solid. It helps you get some better shots that you wouldn't get before, but obviously it's not really changing that much. Unpretentious Amulet still just is. It's absolutely insane. +2 to your damage, as well as you don't have to worry about critting, so you can just focus on Mystical Scaling, which is a really good thing to be focusing on. Other side of the spectrum, whenever a crit is triggered, gain Templusion. I'm putting this in S. I think it's really, really good. It's a bit hard to judge because I haven't used it that much, but when I have used it, like crits a bolus kind of thing, it's really, really good. Wool Chicken, +25 max health. Sign me up. Really quite good. Very happy to take it. Wanda Skeleton Power. I think it could do with a change. I think it's rather dull. Sorry, Wanda Skeleton Greed. Wanda Skeleton Power. I think I'm probably going to be rating it a bit lower, but it's pretty cool. I'll put it in, yeah, around about there. I think it's really quite good, but not interesting enough. Weaponized Envy, I think it probably needs a refill buster kind of change. Maybe like 2 times health healed. Is that a lot? 2 times health healed is probably a lot. Maybe just 1 times health healed as AoE would be cool, but I think it definitely needs a change. Weighted chip is cool when you can pick it up. It's part of the reason why Super Boots is so high. I'll put you in low C. There you go. It's pretty bad. Heal 6 on reloading. It's yellow. It's great. So, yep, there we go. And I believe that is an event passive, a extra passive. So, yes, quite a lot. It's honestly looking quite interesting. It looks like most of the stuff is in B, which is where you'd want a lot of the stuff to be, and a lot of stuff in A as well. I can probably bump this down a bit, yeah. Yep, anyway, that's my tier list.